Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Queersome podcast. I'm Kayla.
I'm Emilee. And this is Sarah, and we're at Lussi Brown Coffee Bar. Today, we're going to interview Sarah and talk about Lussi Brown Coffee Bar. So our first question for you today, Sarah, is what is your story? How did you get here to this podcast today?
Oh, well, one day in 1986. That's a long answer, but shortened, I've worked in coffee for a long time, and I came out as a lesbian around the time that I moved to Lexington and was working in a coffee shop, and really just kind of started working within the queer community with the Lexington Pride Festival and really got involved there and saw that there is a large LGBTQ community here. And they really wanted to meet each other. Yeah. And then I got the opportunity and the option to, start opening my own coffee shop. And they both kind of just went hand in hand. And now we're here.
Now we're here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Where does the name come from?
Lussi Brown. So the co-founder's name is Olivia Lussi. Okay. My last name's Brown. Yeah. And it just kind of, slipped off the Lussi Brown Coffee Bar. It just sounded really good. So she moved when we started opening, and then I took over ownership. So the founder, it's just kind of an ode to her and helping her put it together.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that. I love having like a name like that too.
Yeah.
Because we do, and it's just really cool because that's at least the first icebreaker.
Yeah.
What's the name?
That's a good story.
And hearing a lot of people completely butcher it.
Yeah.
As well.
All the time.
We get that
all the time.
That's okay. That's the way it goes. It's a learning opportunity. Yeah. No big deal.
Exactly.
Do you mind if I ask you what you're drinking right now?
I am drinking an iced matcha with oat milk and sweetened with our house-made lavender. And then right now we have a seasonal blackberry syrup that I put in there as well.
It's good.
So this is kind of like a little off the menu item, but you can still order it. Anybody can order it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you have any other things about the fall menu that you are excited about?
Well, I love our pumpkin just because we make it in-house. So it really is like a labor of love. Like it takes, over an hour to make. We make it from scratch. It's actual pumpkin and our own recipe. So that's it's so good with a chai. Yeah, I'm a pumpkin chai girl.
Okay. Oh, that's okay.
That's
okay.
I love anything pumpkin.
Yeah. So it's the, perfect season for that.
Yeah. Any more menu as far as fall drinks or?
We also have the Juicy Lussi, which helps people figure out what the name is actually, which, play on its own self. But it's the blackberry syrup with our house peach tea, and it's very good. It's very seasonal. It's very into summer, early fall. Yeah, it's delicious.
That sounds so good.
That does sound really, really, really good. We also we knew about you before, but Lez Night, Lex Lez Night.
Lex Lez Night.
Yes, is kind of what started our relationship.
Right.
And how did that come? How did that come about? It's amazing. I've seen it grow.
Yeah.
You barely have space. We're in the parking lot. How did all of that?
I know.
How did all that come about?
Just spilled out into the streets, literally.
Literally, it's so fun just to even be outside.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And just seeing that many, people in this community. And that's kind of how it came to be. It's definitely organically taken its own, thing. And we've, added burlex, and now we have sidebar. It's just organically become a little bit bigger because there's more people showing up and wanting more.
It's a community showing up. And I think especially for sapphics and lesbians, we really don't have a lot of. Obviously, everyone is welcome, but we really don't have one thing catered to us.
And that's how it came to be, because working here. I had a lot of lesbians that would clock me as a lesbian, of course, and be like, where do you meet other lesbians? And I'm like,
out in the wild.
Where do we meet? Do you know? It really was,
help. It's hard.
You want to hang out on Friday and tell your friends? That's as close as we could get. Maybe the right night at Soundbar, there was no definitive answer. And then when Rebecca and Elise bought Crossings, I was like, hey, that's kind of interesting that we have other lesbian-owned business a stone's throw away. And then at the same time, Jen owned Sam's hot dog stand.
Okay, yeah.
And so I talked to them and I was like, I think it would be at least worth letting all of our friends know to come hang out at the same time and support our businesses.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it began. So we all had, special items and we just told our friends, hey, come out on this Friday and we're all going to hang out. And then it just kind of went from there.
Yeah.
We took a break in the end of 2019 just because winter was coming up. So we were like, hey, let's take a breather. And then, the pandemic happened. So we waited a couple of years and then people started requesting it again. When's Lez Night coming back? When's Lez Night coming back? And so, we just went from there.
Back.
Here we are.
It's been really cool to just watch, and just see it grow so much. It's so fun. And like all of the theme night, I love a theme. Us gays, we love a theme.
We love a good theme.
We love a theme.
Yes,
so
truly.
The theme nights and things like that. And just also like having like little businesses and helping just support, or even like your if you walk in and see your wall that has all your artists and things like that, like just helping the community is, and that's kind of why we started this podcast was literally like it's just to help our small community and just try to spread the word, spread love, you know, all of that. Like you help me, I help you, and together we just hopefully grow.
That's what it's about. Yeah.
Absolutely. We definitely love it. And you have October coming up.
Yes.
It's my favorite one.
The second Thursday of every month.
Yes. Second
and
Thursday.
Then October, our theme is Halloween. Of course, we all come out in costuming. And this year's theme is queer icons.
Okay.
It was voted on Instagram.
Gotcha.
Everyone said this is what they want.
Put it on your calendar.
I cannot wait. It's gonna, and people go all out for Lez Night. Like this is,
yes, they do.
This is like
it's iconic.
Yeah,
honestly.
it truly is.
Yeah.
It's a runway, and we're gonna have a competition. So we'll have first place, or just like place for group, couple, and single.
I got you.
And they'll each get a little prize pack from local businesses.
Well, we actually
including you guys.
we got to do the one last year.
Oh yeah,
we were
last
and
year.
you were like, this is the only one I have available, and I was like,
we were so happy.
Yeah.
We were like,
because you did the tinsel,
tinsel and stuff like. But it was so much fun. Just honestly,
so
it's
wonderful.
The people watching too, and I just love like seeing just crowds of beautiful women.
Yeah.
And a safe space, and you can just come
that's
and
the
just
thing
meet
is it's so
people.
safe, and we've met so many people and clients and just friends and built so many relationships here, which is like amazing.
It's beautiful.
I think some people think, oh, I'm too old. I've heard like things, and I'm like, no, like
everyone comes.
Come at 7 to get the coffee,
yes,
and then you don't have to go out, like because I typically am like, I gotta work.
Yeah,
you all have fun, but like the fact you have kind of those transitioning kind of things, it's for everyone.
Yeah, and that's the beauty. There really is something for everyone. If you don't want to stay too late, come and get some grub at Sidebar and then go home.
Absolutely.
You know, you don't have to go to every space. You don't have to stay all night. Just come and see that people just like you, that love you for who you are, exist in Lexington.
Yeah.
And we live here and we have a community and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that. Well, I know we kind of talked about like the drink you're drinking right now, but what is like if you had to pick one, what's your go-to coffee drink order?
So most baristas, myself included, will make a cappuccino when you get because it's like it's the quick little pick me up. It's not as big as a latte or even like a doppio will hit on the right day, but. I love cappuccinos because when I get behind the bar, it makes me test my milk when I get here, and it makes me test the espresso machine. So it's like a 3-part where it's like, this is okay, and now I get to enjoy a drink.
And now I get to enjoy it.
And I get to practice my art. And so cappuccinos are always my go-to.
So cool.
I love that. Cappuccino.
I do love a cappuccino.
I'm an ice drink bitch. I can't help it.
So,
it could be negative 32 and I'm ordering
you really are.
I feel that.
That's just who I am.
I feel it. I feel that.
I can drink hot coffee on a summer morning.
I can appreciate a cappuccino. I definitely can.
Same.
I'll drink any coffee drink any time of day. You hand it to me, I'll sip on it.
Same. Could you expand on the wall, the art wall, the iconic art wall?
Yes. So we have a guest artist every single month. That is usually a local artist. It kind of started from the roots of Lussi Brown. So I am a graphic designer by trade. I have a BFA in graphic design from EKU. And then Olivia was an art student at UK. And she actually teaches art where she lives now. So we love art. That is kind of our core and, you know, like a big portion of where our creative stuff comes from.
Yeah, same.
For sure.
And we love art. Yeah.
And I've hung my, you know, pieces at many places in town. So I wanted to, you know, allow that here. But we're just a space that hangs. If somebody purchases art from the local artist, they get 100% of the sales. We're just
Can artists just reach out to you?
Yeah,
if that's something they're interested in?
I do book it a year in advance.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, if you're interested or, you know, anything, reach out to me probably the end of this year because I'm going to start doing it then. But we have, you know, we represent all types of artists and mediums and ideas.
And that's what I love. It like anytime I come, like I love seeing how different some of those paintings or whatever they are.
Cool.
And it's so cool.
Yeah.
And there's so like originality and
Yeah.
just this uniqueness. We've bought quite a bit.
And so many different styles from like photography to huge paintings to like little illustrations. Like it's beautiful.
And even within like the artists, like how different like, you know, styles and moods and our art definitely reflects what we have going on in our life and things like that. But like you can see so many different, or even like growth and things like that of like, this was my first and this was like, it's just really cool to see like a smaller like local artist. And then
it is.
Who knows? They get big and you're like, hey, we've
had Wiley's stuff here before he, you know, got big. And I mean, it also just shows how really cool of an art community there is in Lexington. Like there are a lot
absolutely
so many artists here and so many small and
just
big
creatives.
artists.
Like we have
it's a creative place.
It is. It definitely is.
So it's fun to be, you know, just an extension of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that so much.
Well, thanks.
I love that you like do it out a year in advance too. That's really cool.
Yeah, so they have time to prepare and think about it and
plan it out a little bit. Well, you as like a queer female business owner, is there any advice that you would give someone looking to kind of go out and step out on their own adventure, or just like anyone that's like younger and like world advice, business advice, life, whatever
advice?
Any advice?
Well, this is the one I didn't prepare for. But be brave.
Yeah.
I know that's very simplistic, but one of my favorite quotes is from Tina Fey that says, "Bitches get stuff done."
Yeah.
And I know that sounds very crass, but it is so true. It's true. You just got to be brave and say, no, this is how I want it done. Yeah. And I'm going to do it however I need to and however I want to and work.
Absolutely.
So that's my advice. Just be brave. Stick to your guns. If you believe in it, go for it.
Yeah.
Nothing can stop you but yourself.
No, we kind of talked a little bit before, but like, just saying yes and just like, you know, like
so far.
And like the worst thing that can happen is it fails and you're like, shit, like I do something else. Yeah. Exactly. But I know that I tried, like, and sometimes
that's the experience.
Sometimes being brave is it's a pants shitting moment. Like it's the scariest thing. Yeah. But if you don't have that to push you out of that comfort zone as well, like you really won't, like you just have to. Like, you won't be anywhere with that if you're...
To me, it's part of living life and getting the most out of it. We're only given, you know, this, and we're not even... We don't even know how long that is. So we might as well utilize what we got while we got it.
I think, too, with, like, being a queer person, like, you've already had to kind of, like, come out and have that bravery and, like, do a lot of, like, untraditional... as society puts it. Right. So it does give us a little bit of, like, empowering of, like... hey, I can do this. Yeah. Like if I came out and if I did this and I'm living my truth, like I can do this and believe yourself. Right. Like, and I think that like that whole experience just makes you more in tune with yourself.
For sure.
And at the end of the day, you do realize it is yourself. Yeah. Like you can build it. Yeah. Like rely on that.
Absolutely.
Like, yeah.
So we like to think of Queersome like as a place where like you can be like really cozy. Like we don't want to be like your stereotypical salon space. And I feel like when we come here, we have that experience at Lucy's, or at Lucy Brown. So I just feel like, how do you feel like you cultivate that in your space? Because it is very unique in here.
Right. So coffee shops have always been, since the 1400s, a space to meet and conversate. That's kind of how they started in the first place in Constantinople, I believe. And it was a sober space to meet and discuss politics and read and religion. And so, fast forward however long, it still has that thread of a community space. And so when we, started seeing a lot of queer people and a lot of, which I'm assuming you guys could relate to, just this community where you belong to and want to say, we need a space to just hang out.
Absolutely,
and conversate and read and discuss that is safe, that is, not too bar culture, just a space where you can sit safely and hang out with your friends. And so I think that common thread, that commonality of just wanting to, be safe in a space and enjoy the community will always be a part of Lucy Brown and will always be a part of things that you guys are doing.
And that's why people come to it. And the fact you have the coffee, but you also have the bar option, and it allows people that I'm not really a big drinker. Wormy doesn't drink, so for us, it's allows us to just come here, be safe, have something to do that's not just our home, or the salon, And like we said, that's kind of what we've tried to cultivate with Queersome, just a comfy,
a place you can do both.
Exactly. And feel safe. Be whoever you are.
Yeah, that's
Get
beautiful.
a little drinky drink.
I love it.
I truly don't love to socialize, and I love to come here and socialize and talk to people I don't know. And as a person who is I don't I'm sober, so sometimes going out to bars is fun for me, but sometimes it's not. So it's it's really cool to know I can always come here, and it's it's going to be a good time.
I love that.
Yeah,
and we can talk.
Yeah,
and not have to scream over each other.
You have the best mocktails I have ever had in my life.
Thank you.
I get a mocktail every time it's an option.
I love that.
I mean that.
I love
they
that.
are so good.
Coffee is the anchor. So it will always go around coffee or tea, and then we branch out from there. That's how we train. That's how we've learned. But coffee is just a beautiful ingredient. Amen. So it all comes from that.
Where would we be without it?
I know. So the mocktails are easy.
Yeah.
You just leave the booze out of the coffee drink.
I love a cold fashioned.
I know, right? They're delicious.
Yeah, so we've talked a lot, obviously, about community, but we can clearly see you're very passionate about coffee itself, and you having a graphic design. How did just a little barista become this?
Right. I mean, they definitely are related. There's just making something and bringing joy to someone is very relatable on many assets. But coffee is just it brings people together. So, you can think about, I can think back when I was a kid, we would always sit around or the grown-ups would sit around and drink coffee and play card games. Yeah. That was just kind of what we did and ate dessert.
Yeah.
And then when I started working at my first coffee job, which is at Berea Coffee and Tea in Berea, I didn't even drink coffee yet. I was not on the coffee train yet. And then I was opening the store at 6 a.m. Yeah. So I was like, well, we might as well start trying stuff. And then I just fell in love. I love eating and consuming, I love trying and tasting new things. And that was just an outlet, I think, to do that. But I started there, and then I moved to Lexington and worked at Coffea for a long time. That was off UK's campus, which is now closed, RIP. But that's where I met Olivia Lussi. And we had that was one of the first places I really, felt comfortable being queer and myself, and coffee shops kind of carry that a little bit because a lot of the staff is, queer and creative. That's just kind of how it comes. So kind of building from that and meeting new people and building community and serving and tasting new things and growing skills. Yeah, it all just kind of builds together. Up. Yep.
It's a great way too of you get to, I think even for us is we have this, I like to paint. I like to do other things, but making a living, I like people, I need people, but I also need to create. And so it's like kind of when both of those worlds get to come together and then you get to see people just like enjoy something that you make. And you're like, and even though it may be gone in the next 5 minutes, you're like, I did that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful creative outlet that people, you know, consume and they trust you and they, you know, there's plenty of competition of coffee shops downtown. I'm honored when people come here and visit.
If you ask anyone, I've got a list. I'm like, this is, you know, like these are, you know, like you just
people are serious about it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Lexington is we're very serious,
passionate about our coffee shop.
Our coffee shop.
It's true.
And so I love that you get to do just both of those, create and then still like get to make people happy.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored that people show up and I get to do this job and enjoy it and, you know, celebrate other people that are trying to do the same.
Yeah. Absolutely. We love that.
Sarah, where can people find you?
We're online at www.lussibrowncoffee.com, right? And we're also on Facebook and Instagram. We keep that updated daily. Just follow us there. You'll know our hours, location, all that stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And Lex Lez Night.
Lex Lez Night. We have an Instagram. Yeah. Instagram's very active. You can also follow Facebook, but it's at Lex Lez Night.
Amazing.
Yep.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Of course.
Yes.
We're so glad
we
got to do this.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. And all of you all, don't forget, remember to like, follow, all of that.
Subscribe and share.
Exactly. And like we always say,
call us if you need us.